Question 1. What is the name given to the traditional owners of the land we now call Australia? A. Aboriginal and Strait Islander peoples. B. Maori and Polynesian peoples. C. Melanesian and Micronesian peoples. D. Native American and Canadian peoples. Answers is A. Aboriginal and Strait Islander peoples. Aboriginal and Strait Islander peoples are the original inhabitants of Australia, with a rich and diverse cultural heritage spanning tens of thousands of years. They are recognised as the traditional owners of the land. Question 2. Which date marks the arrival of the First Fleet in Australia, signifying the start of European settlement? A. January 26, 1788. B. December 25, 1800. C. April 1, 1901. D. July 4, 1776. Answers is A. January 26, 1788. The First Fleet, led by Captain Arthur Phillip, in Sydney Cove on January 26, 1788. This date is now as Australia Day, reflecting the beginning of European settlement. Question 3. In Australia, what does the rule of law mean for all citizens and leaders? A. Everyone is equal before the law. B. Only elected leaders are bound by laws. C. Laws apply differently to different groups. D. Can choose which laws to follow. Answers is A. Everyone is equal before the law. The rule of law means that all people, including government officials, are subject to and accountable under the law. No one is above the law, ensuring fairness and justice for everyone in Australia. Question 4. What is the official name of Australia's national anthem? A. Advance Australia Fair. B. God Save the King. C. Waltzing Matilda. D. I Still Call Australia Home. Answers is A. Advance Australia Fair. Advance Australia Fair was proclaimed as Australia's national anthem in 1984. It God Save the for official use as the national anthem. Question 5. Which body is responsible for making and changing federal laws in Australia? A. The Australian Parliament. B. The High Court of Australia. C. The D. State and territory governments. Answers is A. The Australian Parliament. The Australian Parliament, consisting of the King represented by the Senate, and the House of, is responsible for making and amending federal laws for their entire nation. Question 6. What is one of the Australian citizenship? A. To vote in federal and local elections. B. To travel without a passport. C. To speak only English. D. To live in a specific city or region. Answers is A. To vote in federal and local elections. A key responsibility of Australian citizens is to vote in elections, ensuring participation in the democratic process. Voting is compulsory for all eligible Australian citizens aged 18 and over. Question 7. What significant event is annually on Anzac Day? A. The landing of Australian and New Zealand soldiers at Gallipoli. B. The gold rush in Victoria. C. The signing of the Constitution. D. The arrival of the First Fleet. Answers is A. The landing of Australian and New Zealand soldiers at Gallipoli. Anzac Day, April 25, commemorates the landing of Australian and New Zealand Army Corps Anzac soldiers at Gallipoli in World War I. It honours all Australians and New Zealanders who have served and died in wars, conflicts and peacekeeping operations. Question 8. Which two animals support the Australian coat of arms? A. Kangaroo and emu. B. Koala and wombat. C. Platypus and echidna. D. Crocodile and dingo. Answers is A. Kangaroo and emu. The Australian coat of arms features a kangaroo and an emu, both native Australian animals that cannot walk backwards, symbolising forward progress. They support a shield containing the badges of the 6 states. Question 9. What is the capital city of Australia? A. Canberra. B. Sydney. C. Melbourne. D. Brisbane. Answers is A. Canberra. Canberra is the capital city of Australia, chosen as a compromise between the rival of Sydney and Melbourne when the nation federated. Question 10. When did the 6 Australian federate to form the Commonwealth of Australia? A. January 1, 1901. B. January 26, 1788. C. April 25, 1915. D. September 3, 1939. Answers is A. January 1, 1901. On January 1, 1901, the 6 united to form the Commonwealth of Australia, following a decade of conventions and referendums. This event marked the birth of Australia as a nation. Question 11. What does the Southern Cross constellation on the Australian national flag represent? A. Australia's geographical position in the Southern Hemisphere. B. The unity of the states. And C. The Aboriginal peoples of Australia. D. The original explorers of Australia. Answers is A. Australia's geographical position in the Southern Hemisphere. The Southern Cross is a prominent constellation visible from the Southern Hemisphere, symbolising Australia's geographical location. It is a key feature of the Australian national flag. Question 12. Who is the head of state of Australia? A. The King of Australia. B. The Prime Minister of Australia. C. The of Australia. D. The Chief Justice of Australia. Answers is A. The King of Australia. The King of Australia is Australia's head of state. The King's representative in Australia is the who performs constitutional and ceremonial on the King's behalf. Question 13. Which document the framework for Australia's government and legal system? A. The Australian Constitution. B. The Magna. C. The Universal Declaration of Human Rights. D. The Bill of Rights. Answers is A. The Australian Constitution. The Australian Constitution, which came into effect on January 1, 1901, provides the framework for the Australian government, outlining the powers and roles of the Parliament, Executive and Judiciary. Question 14. What is the name for the ancient stories and traditions passed down by Aboriginal peoples? A. The dreaming or dream time. B. The C. The D. The lore. Answers is A. The dreaming or dream time. The dreaming, also known as dream time, refers to the Aboriginal understanding of the world, its creation, and the spiritual laws governing existence. These stories are fundamental to Aboriginal culture. Question 15. What is the term for the system where citizens choose representatives to make decisions on their behalf? A. Representative democracy. B. Direct democracy. C. Monarchy. D. Oligarchy. Answers is A. Representative democracy. Australia operates as a representative democracy, where citizens elect members of parliament to represent them and make decisions on their behalf in the federal, state, and local governments. Question 16. Which city was the site of the first permanent European settlement in Australia? A. Sydney, B. Melbourne, C. Brisbane, D. Perth. Answers is A. Sydney. Sydney, specifically Sydney Cove, was the site where the first fleet landed in 1788 and established the first permanent European settlement, which later grew into Australia's largest city. Question 17. What is the national floral emblem of Australia? A. The golden wattle, B. The C. The desert pea, D. The kangaroo paw. Answers is A. The golden wattle. The golden wattle acacia is Australia's national floral emblem. Its vibrant yellow and green colours are also Australia's national colours. Question 18. What is the primary role of the in Australia? A. To represent the king and act as, B. To lead the government as Prime Minister, C. To make laws in the Parliament, D. To serve as the Chief Justice of the High Court. Answers is A. To represent the king and act as. There is the king's representative in Australia, acting on the advice of government ministers. There include exercising constitutional powers, ceremonial roles, and serving as of the Australian Defence Force. Question 19. Which Australian value emphasises treating others with dignity and consideration? A. Respect, B. C. Fair go, D. Individualism. Answers is A. Respect. Respect is a fundamental Australian value, meaning to treat others with dignity and consideration, regardless of their background, beliefs, or lifestyle. It underpins a harmonious multicultural society. Question 20. What is a key right of Australian citizens? A. To apply for an Australian passport, B. To be exempt from paying taxes, C. To own any type of firearm, D. To disregard traffic laws. Answers is A. To apply for an Australian passport. Australian citizens have the right to apply for an Australian passport, which allows them to travel internationally as citizens of Australia. This is a fundamental benefit of citizenship. Question 21. What is the purpose of compulsory voting in Australia? A. To ensure high participation in the democratic process, B. To support a particular political party, C. To increase government revenue through fines, D. To reduce the number of political candidates. Answers is A. To ensure high participation in the democratic process. Compulsory voting ensures that a high proportion of eligible citizens participate in elections, strengthening the democratic process by ensuring that governments are chosen by a broad of the population. Question 22. Which major historical event led to significant migration waves to Australia in the A. The gold rushes, B. World War I, C. The first fleet arrival, D. The Federation of Australia. Answers is A. The gold rushes. The discovery of gold in the, particularly in New South Wales and Victoria, triggered massive gold rushes, attracting hundreds of thousands of migrants from around the world and dramatically boosting Australia's population. Question 23. What colours are featured on the Australian Aboriginal flag? A. Black, red and yellow, B. Blue, white and red, C. Green, gold and white, D. Orange, black and white. Answers is A. Black, red and yellow. The Aboriginal flag features a black top half representing Aboriginal peoples, a red bottom half representing the red earth and spiritual connection to land, and a yellow circle in the center representing the sun and protector. Question 24. Which level of government is primarily responsible for national defense and foreign affairs? A. Federal government, B. State government, C. Territory government, D. Local government. Answers is A. Federal government. The federal government, based in Canberra, has primary responsibility for matters that affect the entire nation, such as national defence, foreign policy, immigration and currency.